Hey, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Angela O'Hare, your favorite Las Vegas realtor.
Hello, and I'm Rob Howe, Rockstar Realtor on YouTube.
And we wanted to wish you a happy holiday season. That's why we're wearing our holiday attire. I've had this for 5 years. I wear this one every year. The first year I remember I said, Merry Christmas, you filthy rats, remember? But it's filthy animals.
That's right.
And then he has little kitties with the lights on it.
Kitties, there's a dog in there too. It's god awful. And it's why I wear it.
Exactly.
Somehow, I think mine's only 2 years old, so the lights still work.
Yeah, mine doesn't work anymore. So welcome to our monthly market update. Today, we're going to be going over November 2025 numbers. And there's a lot of revelations going on. Shocking news. The title of this was called, what did I call this title for the YouTube? The Las Vegas home prices have exploded. All right, let's dive into it. First, actually, it's, because it's the holidays. How are you? You have a good Thanksgiving?
Yes, been great. Really good.
Did you guys do anything for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we went to my girlfriend's grandparents. They happened to move to Mesquite in the last. Yeah, they lived in Sacramento, and we've been together 2 years now. And in between that time,
they sell them a house in Mesquite.
They just moved there.
Oh.
They didn't even talk to anybody about it. They went to a builder there, of course, and they bought from the.
That's probably Sun City.
It was Sun City.
Yeah,
exactly. So they've got a nice golf course view.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Probably a lot cheaper than here.
Yeah, a little bit less. They did look here, and I was a little like, okay, guys, they didn't even tell us what was going on.
Right.
But yeah, sometimes that happens.
Yeah, we had the whole fam down. My daughter was in from Oregon. Damien's daughter was in from college from Utah. And then nice. Evan lives home. So we had my parents over. So it was a feast.
Good. Yeah.
I love Thanksgiving.
I actually want, this is a point of interest because I brought my mother out to them to meet them.
Oh.
And we were, it's always like, but it went great.
Oh, that's great.
Mom was great. She was happy. Yeah. She needed to get out and be around people.
I sold a condo near Mom's.
Red Hills?
Yeah, Red Hills a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I always think of Gretchen when they
sell. She's on the board there, or at least for now she is. She might not be for long, but.
Right. So yeah, that's about it. I've had my Rivian for a full month.
Yeah.
And it's been interesting the nice thing, it's nice not to have to go to the gas station anymore. But I do have to charge it more, but we figure per kilowatt hour, we have to charge it like 77 kilowatts. So like 6-7 hours.
Okay.
And the math is that it costs 12 cents a kilowatt hour. So if you times 12 cents by 77 kilowatts, it's only $9.24 of electricity costs to charge 300 miles on my car.
Yeah, that's good.
Compared to if you went to fill it up, it would be $100.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
So
for a big vehicle like
enjoying the electric vehicle for the first time ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I love my plug-in. It's not full electric, but like I said, that the way it feels is what's really nice.
Yeah, and it's nice having solar. And the only reason I got an electric car is because I have solar. Otherwise, I wouldn't have never gotten it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, we're going to go over the numbers. Hold on tight. We're going to be talking about what's going on with the Las Vegas housing market, foreclosures, interest rates, as well as new home sales, which is still going on right now. And they're hitting it hard, strong. They're hitting it hard. Okay?
Yeah. I've been getting those. I got those Black Friday deals.
Oh, my God.
Right?
I was like, damn, I wish I had a client for these great deals.
Yeah.
So let's pull up the sheet.
Thanks, Damien.
Yeah. There were a total of 1,538 closings for the month of November, which is down 10.8% from the prior month and down 6.6% from the prior year.
What?
Well, I mean, that's crazy.
It's crazy in combination as we go along.
Well, because of all the combination, it's crazy what happened with the median price, right? I'll just kind of surmise that we were down in new listings, we were down in closings, we were down in inventory, but yet the median price went up crazy. So I don't know. We'll go into detail why, right?
Yes.
Right. So, but this time last year, we only had 1647 closings. So it's not too far off from last year. And in 2023, we had 1,435. And that's far less than. So it's this time of year, we don't have that many closings because, again, it's the holidays. People are wanting to enjoy the festivities with their family, not worry about buying a house. But serious buyers out there will get some good deals, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And those deals may be fleeting a little bit as we enter into the next year.
I think so.
We'll have to see.
Yeah. Yep. So then the median price of previous.
This is what doesn't make sense.
A previously owned single family homes went from 474,370 to 488,995, which is up 3.1% from the prior month and up 1.9% from the prior year. So this is the highest median price ever in Las Vegas. I always like to just. So this is the highest median price ever in Las Vegas, and we hit our all-time high in January at 485. So now this marks a new record high.
Yes.
At 488,995.
Incredible. Just astonishing to see that. I think we can explain what's happening. And also, I would like to dispel a lot of what is out there, which is a lot of what I see. You know, the news immediately got a hold of this and said, hey, you know, prices are exploding, like you're saying.
Right.
And the truth is that I don't think values are actually exploding. We're seeing the median price because the median price is the middle number of the sales that happened in the last month. Well, that middle number has been increasingly more expensive.
Yes.
Because we're not seeing the lower price ranges sell as much. So the middle number and the median, which is usually very reliable for value growing.
Right.
It's what we've used, except for my early part of my career. It's what's always been pretty gosh darn on as far as, hey, this isn't a value, you know, we've got prices going up or down, right? The median's going to tell you that. In this case, it's a very misleading number.
Yeah, it makes it look like that the houses are doing very well by increasing the median price when in fact all the other indicators like less sales, less listings, less homes on the market.
Days on market,
but it's the higher end homes that are keeping that median price at a higher rate.
And I know we've mentioned this before in some way or shape or form, but it's just like it's really coming to a head that this is happening.
Right.
And it describes what's happening almost in the country with people that sort of the haves and the have-nots. And that's kind of the sad. And the reason why it's concerning to me is for really only one reason, because what happens if the haves have a problem and decide, and they are not interested in that. Now the market isn't good for them. Now you've got an issue. So it's a little bit of a teetering. Now, do I think that's going to happen? Not really.
Right.
I think I'm seeing things that are going to stabilize us, hopefully. But this is going to take a little time because we've been dealing with this. It's just kind of rearing its head more than ever right now for years.
Yeah. I mean, in years past, this time of year, we always see decline or slight decline in median price. We're not seeing it. You know, we've been comparing everything this past year to 2022. And the only thing that's different between now and 2022 is that the median price just will not go down. It's not crashing.
Yeah, we thought it was.
Yeah.
Because
we only
it was
had one little bump down.
It kind of roller coastered a little on us. We kept wondering why that was happening. Well, this is the explanation.
Yeah. I looked at the average price. I didn't write it, but the average price still relatively stayed around 612,000. Last month it was like relatively the same. So I didn't even write average price because there's no way to tell the difference on average. The median was always that number to go to number.
It's the middle number. It's always like, and when the bedrock of your sales, which is typically in the lower price ranges, is there, I think the median's very reliable.
Right.
Because it's going to balance out. That's the whole point of like using the median. instead of the average, is because it kind of balances out and it comes to what usually is a lower number, certainly than the luxury market would be, right? So you're going to have lower numbers. In this case, the sales that are happening and have been happening are all happening in 500 plus, maybe even a little higher than that, like the bulk of them, which is unusual.
Yes.
Yeah. So what does it mean? Well, to me, I think it means we need to get somewhere back to balance. It's good that rates just changed.
Yes.
That will help. We need more help.
Yeah. I think every time the last 2 months when they had some kind of adjustment with the interest rates, I did see a flurry of buyers come back to the market. I want to show this thing with this is that I got today from a lender, Wells Fargo lender, about the interest rate. And they have
this happens to be Maricopa County, Arizona, but it's
but I'm sure it would be the same.
Yeah.
A conforming 30-year fixed rate at 6.125, an FHA 30-year fixed at 5.5, and a VA 30-year fixed at 5.75.
Yeah, we haven't seen rates really down there for a little while.
Yeah.
And as far as the Fed rate is concerned, we haven't seen that since 22, I think. 2022.
Yes. Yeah.
So that should help. And what happens is that, and this goes back to our point about the median, is that the ones that are the haves, the wealthier people, are less rate sensitive.
Right.
They don't need that rate as much. They have options. They have ways they can move around cash. They can use less of a loan and put more cash. Whereas the people that in the lower price ranges really do need, they're rate sensitive.
Yes.
Extremely rate sensitive, especially when we're talking about higher prices along with higher rates.
Yeah, they need as much assistance as possible. Now, the question is once those lower rates lower, is the median price going to continue to go up?
I actually think it might go down a little bit, because if we start sneaking back in if what we're saying is true, which I believe 100% it is, we start sneaking back in some more of the bedrock,
under the 500 range,
in the 350 and the 400 range, more of those start filling in the gap.
Yeah.
I think it'll actually either stabilize it or pull it down a little bit if there was enough.
Yes, that makes sense. That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
So that would be good if we did see some movement with the median price going down. And, this is very unaffordable for most of the people that live in Vegas. Of course, most of the people that are buying in Las Vegas are not locals. They are moving from out of state.
Yeah.
I get a lot of people still from the Pacific Northwest, California, New York,
wealthier
New Jersey,
areas, selling higher priced homes.
And their market's still actually, I have clients that listed their house in California and it sold like that.
I mean, I would imagine if you price right and price to sell in any market, you can get it done.
True.
And for many of these people, they bought at a good time where they, maybe they're not getting the highest price, but they're getting a price that they're happy with because they've gained a lot of equity.
Exactly.
I think if I was just to put a very quick bow on this, what if I was to prescribe, if I was the doctor of real estate right now, and this is just the most ideal circumstance, if I could say, what would make everything sort of balance back out? I would say, certainly we need better rates, better prices. And I think those things are happening underneath it all, even though we're seeing median price rise.
Right.
I think those things are happening. The third one is the longer term tough one, and that is higher wages, because we've been in this inflationary period, and really wages never caught up with that.
Right.
So if you had higher wages, which is maybe not very likely on the near horizon, but if those three things could come together, you would see a very different market.
Yeah. And, you see a lot in the RJ about how, and we talked about this in the last few market updates, about how down tourism is and the Las Vegas economy, and they make it sound so gloom and doom. And I mean, you never believe everything you read. I'm sure that tourism is down. Mm-hmm. But I know that these hotels are like redefining, because, back in 2020 when we had COVID and trying to get the people back in the door, and then they went crazy and took advantage of it and increased those damn fees.
Yeah. Greed has been a big part of some of the problem.
Yes.
That needs to scale back. And I think in Vegas, yeah, Vegas has always survived on being able to be a deal and like, hey, let's get people in.
I mean, I remember $1.99 steak and eggs dinner, right? Or breakfast.
And some places are doing those things. And I do think that while things are a little down, it's just down from a very, very high point as well. So from what I'm hearing from people who work in the industries down there, it's not so bad in some. And it's like, there's days where it's like a ghost town. So they'll have like these booming days. Right. NFR comes in. They just had the race,
the F1.
Those things will increase things, and then they'll just have a Tuesday that's like, wow, this is dead.
Right. I never go down there, so I don't know what the feel is down there.
Yeah, I just rely on people that do, and
right. I avoid that place like the plague.
I've lived here long enough to see that the true recessions that Vegas has been through, and the times where people were really not coming here. The casinos knew how to survive then, and I think they know how to survive now. I think they need to peel back a little bit of the greed that they.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
And other places out of Las Vegas, out of state, started charging those ancillary fees too. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like I was staying at an Airbnb and they charged, or even at a hotel down in Sedona, they were charging those service fees.
Yeah.
I mean, why do I need to charge it?
And not to have a complaint fest about that, but yeah, it drives me a little nuts because you check into these places and then you got to check out like hours earlier than you checked in. And I know they got to get them clean, the Airbnbs and stuff, but man,
you can't come.
You get ripped off a few hours each time.
Exactly, and you have to check out at 11. What's up with that? Anyway, let's get to the condos.
Yeah, that we could go off. We'll keep it on the bright side, folks.
Yep.
We promise.
So condos median price went from $285,000 the previous month to $303,750, which is up 6.6% from the prior month and slightly up 0.8% from the prior year. And the condos have seen quite a bit of a roller coaster ride up and down. I mean, I think the peak last year or sometime was at 315.
Yep.
So they've been up and down.
This was the more shocking one to me. I mean, it was enough of a shock that nearly 15,000 on the single family residence, but the condos, townhomes, they had been going down consecutively each month.
Right.
And they were more consistent. It was like, but I think that what's happened there too is that you're going to have the better, higher price, the ones that are fixed up and ready to go.
Yeah.
Those are going to be the ones you're going to see that sold. And of course, those are the higher priced ones. And that's going to lift that boat a little bit.
True. Oh, you know what could also affect the median price is that a lot of builders put their inventory on the MLS. Mm-hmm. And typically new construction is more than a resale home.
Sure.
So that could, and more and more builders are doing that. So that could affect the median price.
That's a good point, actually, especially because of those price ranges. And they do land, most of those are going to be not in the lower price ranges, if any.
Right.
And so, yeah, if they're incentivizing, the ones that they're putting on there are the ones that are generally, you're making a great point because those ones are usually the ones that are like standing inventory.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So somebody can go and buy those pretty quickly, close on it.
Yep.
And if they're incentivizing those enough, like they have been, they're trying to keep their list price and it's back deal, back in the deal.
But if you have a good, we froze.
Right on me. There we go.
There you go. But if you have a great agent that works with new construction, knows how to negotiate it all on all ends, where we lower the price and also get the great interest rate incentives plus closing costs, then you're golden.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, if you like new, this is your time right now.
Yep.
I don't know that it gets a whole lot better if things start to do what we think they will.
Well, especially if interest rates start going down, like we've seen prior to COVID or prior to 2022, where the builders didn't do these types of incentives. Mm-hmm. They didn't do interest rate incentives. They didn't do closing cost incentives, You
got to keep a tight eye on what's happening. If you're looking at new homes and you're thinking, I'm not going to do what Rob and Ange say and get involved now.
Right.
My advice would be to keep a tight eye on what happens in the springtime, because if springtime doesn't inflate as far as inventory is concerned, if it stays basically where, what's coming on is getting chewed off.
Right.
then that's going to affect how the builders do their business.
Right.
And unless the builders are like, oh, crud, there's a lot of inventory on the resale market, and now we have to compete with that. Unless they see that, they're not giving these kind of deals continued.
Right. But also some builders, as we have discussed, have stopped or not doing as much spec homes as they used to.
Yeah.
So they're buying or building on demand more, so that way they don't have all that inventory sitting, and that way they don't give those huge discounts.
Yeah. So in combination, that would mean to me that your deal of getting at a new home is probably going away from you as we exit this year.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, it's probable based on those two things.
I just got an email from Lennar today about the feds are dropping the interest rates, and let me tell you, Lennar, and we're going to talk about new construction, but I just wanted to go over this because it's on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
During Cyber Week and Thanksgiving, Lennar had interest rates. It was a 2-to-1 buy down. The first year at 1.99%, second year 2.99%, and from years 3 through 30, 3.99%.
Unbeatable.
Even 3.99 is still better than 6%.
Yeah. If you can go in and get that great, which you can clearly,
right,
on probably select homes, select models, select areas, but
yes,
get that, and then you get other things in the deal.
Yes.
You negotiate other things.
Closing costs.
Well, you're getting
Lower
you're
the
going
price.
back in time is what you're doing.
Yep. Yeah. And last month or the month before, I had a client that bought a home at Caprock at Ascension by Pulte Homes. It was a $2.1 million home, move-in ready. Not really. It's a spec home, though. It's not ready for a minute, but I got it down to 1.6. So the builders are hurting too, and they want to make those deals.
Yeah.
All right. Enough about that. Let's get into the luxury market. We had 125 luxury homes that sold in November, which is compared to October 135. So it was only 10 down.
Yep.
And then the median price slightly increased by $950,000. It went to $1,350,000.
$950. Yeah.
So it didn't increase by much. So there is slight movement, and they just see little ups, peaks and valleys, right?
It's the most stable market when I look at it overall. The luxury has been very, very consistent. Sure, there's the median goes a little bit like this because
but it's not much
easily swayed. Not much, but easily swayed because of less numbers. But the amount of sales being maybe a touch lower, 10 lower, obviously right now, is normal for this time of year. That's a trend that you would see normally. So luxury just keeps on ticking.
I think there was last month in McDonald Highlands a home that sold for $14 million.
Yeah. I
would have liked to have been that agent.
Yeah. They have a few in there. They got a big project going on up there too with a condo city center type thing.
I don't know. Sorry. I mean, if you love Henderson, my main focus is always Summerlin. So then we're going to get into the new listings.
By the way, on condos and townhomes, you saw that they really dipped as far as inventory.
Oh, yeah, 303. Yeah. That's not a lot.
Not a lot at all.
Yeah.
It's down by a lot.
So we had 2,185 new listings in the month of November, which is actually down 29% from the prior month.
Hold up.
And slightly up at 2.2% from the prior year. Technical issues. Why are we?
We're back.
There you go. Sorry.
It's Krampus.
Okay, let's start over, folks. If we have to repeat, I'm so sorry. The presentation's gone. Technology. Okay, there you go. Let's start over, just in case we froze or you missed what we said. So there were 2,185 new listings for the month of November, which was down 29% from the prior month and slightly up at 2.2% from the prior year. So now, as you've been talking, we're starting to see the decline in inventory, which is actually traditional for this time of year. One, sellers are probably taking their homes off the market, going to relist in spring, and because we didn't have the sales, we only have 15.
Yeah, it wasn't because they got eaten up.
Yeah, they didn't get eaten up. So we had very new listings, not a lot.
So this is a good thing as far as if you're a seller out there, right? We had inventory was climbing all year, pretty much all year. But after spring, which during spring actually it was climbing, which was a little bit of a different trend that we. I think we
peaked at 75 single family homes, not including condos or townhomes.
Yeah. So total on market, we went up above almost to 11,200, which was actually over 11,200, which was a high since 2017. So a lot of inventory. If we would have seen that continue, that was what I've talked to you about. Hey, what we've talked to about, which was like, this is a problem. If we see this go through our traditional time of year where we see less inventory and people still putting stuff on the market, that would be bad.
Yes.
More inventory on the market this time of year where we would normally see less would be bad. Now we're seeing 29% decrease from last month, which is actually pretty heavy.
Yes,
we're seeing.
That's huge.
Yeah, when I looked at 7 day average, it was over 600 homes. It went from up to around 11,200 in late October through the month of November till now. It's over 600 home decrease.
Wow.
So that's a big deal, and that's helpful because if you do think that more inventory is going to come back on in spring, well, we want to know that we didn't just keep climbing up.
Yeah, I think if you look in the MLS, you'll probably see a lot of withdrawals and a lot of withdrawals conditional because, again, we're hitting into that whole holiday season. Sellers are less likely to sell. Instead of keeping it days on market, they just removed it and will relist it in the spring. What's going on? This connection is bad. All right. So they'll relist it in the spring. So does that mean come springtime, we're going to see an influx of inventory?
That's no way to know until we kind of get a little closer, but that's what I'm looking at. Right. That's you're always looking for the red flags.
Yes.
That would be a big red flag to see that the springtime does not have enough buyers. And there's a lot of people who want to sell because all those people who decided, I don't want to do it now, I'll do it then. Will they finally crack? Will they finally say, oh, I got to lower my price. Right. I want to get this sold.
Just because if you removed it now and relist it then, don't relist it at a higher price that you had it at. Get a better agent if they hadn't sold it and think about the correct pricing of the home.
Yeah. I mean, we have to look at what's happening in the moment at that time. But I think to me, it's about retaining value, not necessarily trying to get the next highest value. Retain what value is there.
Yeah. Because, the comps aren't accurate right now because there's not as many sales. So what I typically do when I take on a listing is I also look at current homes on market that are comparable to the house that I want to list.
Absolutely.
And if they've been on the market for 130 days at this price that we want to list it at with the same house, then forget about it.
It's obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even though that a comp told me that 6 months ago it sold for that price, the market's changed. You got to go with the flow.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love when I see that comp there that's been on the market for 150 days. And, it's just or it's very similar to ours. The first thing I'm going to point out is we don't want to be this. Yes. We cannot languish. If you languish, you lose.
Yeah.
So I just did a property. Now, one of the things that people do want, and we've said it, they don't want to fix anything. They want to buy something nice, ready to go. So if you can make your property as nice as possible, we can help you do those things. I just did one where we basically, it was rented for 18 years prior, but it was in okay shape. Fixed it up. Nice. Really good job. Sold in less than 7 days.
Wow.
Okay. Priced right, priced to sell with all the things. we reserved, we held the value that was there. My seller was smart and didn't try to go, I want to gain value.
Right.
That may
They
be
weren't
not
being greedy.
Yeah, they may not be the move right now.
Well, and that's smart advice, is that use this time, if you do plan on listing in the spring, to really get your shite in order,
Yep.
get your house in order, hire a home inspector, see where you're lacking in the general maintenance of your home, right?
Yep.
Because there are things that you don't maintain, like the styrofoam stuff that goes on the condenser units.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
If your AC filters are dirty,
yeah,
like little things,
work on getting your home ready. If you have bizarre wall colors, paint it one neutral color throughout the entire house,
or charge less for the home.
Yeah,
I mean, really.
But if you charge less, it's still going to sit longer.
It may.
People now want move-in ready. They don't want to do much. And if they do want a project, they want it very minimal.
Yep. Yeah. So maybe you can get away with your paint, but you're right. The best thing is to neutralize that and make it nice.
Declutter, depersonalize, take down shite that's been around for pictures, things that are decluttering, clearing up the house.
Yeah.
And smell too.
Oh, yeah.
Do not... If you have pet smell or pee smell in your house, don't cover it up with a Glade warm or Glade plug-in, because that smell, people are smell sensitive, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
you can tell you're covering up something.
Everything is a vibe, right? Yeah. You want to create the right vibe in the home when somebody walks in. So, you got to be smart. Sight, sound, smells.
Yeah.
All of that is important.
Another advice for sellers too is sometimes there's obstacles or hurdles where the seller won't show the house.
Oh God. Yeah.
You need to be available 24/7, not 24/7 literally, but anytime someone wants to look your friggin' house, be available to let them look at it.
Just make it easy.
You
think about what you would want if you're the buyer.
Exactly.
You're going to wait for somebody no, you want to get in when you're itching to see that property, you want to get in. So put yourself in those shoes, not to say I'm giving you a deal shoes. Like you don't have to worry about that. Make your property priced right, but make it available.
Have you had your sellers want you to be there for all the showings?
I have in the past, yes.
That's very
It depends on the property, and I for certain properties I can understand, and I have done that.
Right.
And sure, it can be annoying, and I mean, it just depends. I had a property that was so detailed and had so many things that you needed to be able to describe.
Right.
If an agent, even an experienced agent, walked in that house, they wouldn't have known a hill of beans about what to tell them.
True. There's pros and cons to that. For me, because we're so busy, it's hard for me to go down there to show the house, especially when someone wants to look at it, right? Because when my buyers are in town, they want to look at the house. They don't want any obstacles. They want to do it 3 hours later than the time slot that we want to look at it, right? So it's very hard sometimes when you have your listing agent only show the house. But again, I can understand it when it's more of the luxury homes.
Luxury homes going to do it a lot.
The higher end homes, yes. But anything under $1 million, it's hard.
You're going to be expected in that luxury market to do that a lot. And it's because they want, again, that vibe. They want the right things said. Right. And they are counting on you to do that. And for some of those luxury homes, they have things that other homes don't have. So you're not going to have an agent walk in and necessarily know what to tell their buyers.
Especially if they bought it brand new and they're selling it 5 years later, what upgrades were selected during that time, what things were added, etc.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff where they've gone in and remodeled the home too.
Right.
They want to be able to tell you. They are proud of what they did. They want to be able to tell that and have that explained by somebody who they feel, because that's why they hired them, is sharp and has that, panache.
Charisma. Yeah. Charisma.
Yeah, there you go.
Charisma.
One last thing about selling that I'll just throw in here. My advice has been to list early in the year this year. Yeah. Because I would want you to be able to see any trouble coming and avoid issues. So the earlier, basically before spring, because I think a lot of people are going to try to load up in spring. Yeah. If there was going to be a log jam, that's where it's going to happen. Yeah. If you can beat that and be one of the nice, great listings that are on there with a little less inventory, I think that's a smart move right now.
Because the listings that I had in the early last year, I think March is the latest, the cutoff, right? Anything after March is like...
You don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know right now.
But that's how last year was.
Could be fine.
Yeah.
but we don't know right now. So I like working with what we know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you were saying, early in the year, it was strong last year.
Yes, it was strong. And we listed in March and we sold. And if we would have waited one more month, it probably would have been friggin' hard.
Yeah.
And
it
we sold
was
fast.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It would have been harder for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like January, February, March, if you're thinking about listing, get ahead before all the other people put in their home. A lot of people traditionally do April, May.
Yeah.
So that's my advice too.
I mean, when I saw that the inventory declined as much as it is right now, I said to my client, there's no wrong right now trying to put your property on, even though this is a slow. The buyers that are out there are serious.
Right.
The ones that are out there, even though it's wintertime and,
Yeah, there's still multiple offers happening, not as much.
We got multiple offers. Yeah.
Over asking price.
Yeah.
It's just, again, it's price right and location and move-in ready.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get back to the numbers.
Give us your questions if you got them. We got one that we're going to answer in a minute.
Yep. So now this is interesting that our inventory's declined. I think it's declined by 6.7%. I think it was like 7,400 last month or something like that, or 7,500. Anyway, so there's currently 7,033 single family homes listed without offers, which is down 6.7% from the prior month, but up 26.3% from the prior year.
So you can see the combination of what's happened. We did have a lot of inventory pile up this year, but in this last couple of months, we're seeing that pullback.
Yes,
which is
we traditionally see that during the winter, the last quarter of the year. But what is interesting to me, last year this time we had 5,570 listed without offers, and in November of 2022, where we were comparable, they peaked at 8,000.
Yeah,
it went down to 7,342. So that's this time of year we just start seeing not as much inventory on the market.
Yeah.
But this is interesting, is that the months of supply went up. I think it went from 4.3 to 4.6, which I don't understand because the inventory went down.
That
doesn't make sense to me. How is that even possible?
We
had less homes on the market. We declined to 7,000 and change for homes on the market. So how did it go up by 3? So currently there's 4.6 months of inventory, which is up 4.6% from the prior month and up 35.2% from the prior year.
We might need to look at, there is actually a description of how they calculate that in there.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. Well, yeah. If we look at that, there may be a reason why, there may be doing a calculation why that happens.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And this time last year, we were at 3.4 months of inventory. And in November of 2022, they were at 4.8 months of inventory.
So it tracks with that November 2022 number, because even if we look at, it was 300 more homes, and it's 0.2 less. So that sounds right.
So then they must have been wrong for the prior month's number.
Either that or they do a different calculation that we need to sort out.
I don't know. I mean, we've been doing this I've been doing this like 6-7 years, and we've been doing it together 5 years.
There's always something new to learn, folks.
Yes, exactly.
We'll figure that one out.
And lastly,
days on market.
47.4% of the homes were on the market 30 days or less, which is down. And then 50.4 of it was on the market the month before, and then 57.9 the prior year. So we're having less closings currently.
So down 3%. And that is, to me, is more telling. And that's why I'm going to keep reiterating that as a seller, as somebody, or even as a buyer, I want you to be reassured as a buyer that, hey, you're not seeing this, look what the news is saying. Oh, things are going up. Just the median went up. It's not really that the values went up, because that tells me right there's going to be sellers that are going to make you a deal. They're waiting, some of them stubbornly, but they're going to eventually sell, and they're going to make you a deal.
7,000 homes on the market, single family homes, and they are sitting on the market a lot longer. As a seller, don't expect to sell your home within that weekend like we've seen in years past. Again, it all has to boil down to pricing it right, move-in ready, and location. homes on average sell within 30 to 90 days, if not more now.
Yep.
Right?
That's what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Over 50% of them are not selling
in 30 days.
in 30 days.
Yeah.
Easy math.
Exactly. The bulk of it, I would say, is probably 30-60. 30-60 days. But I've seen a lot at 100. And that, as a buyer, if there's nothing wrong with that house, then that's where we can go in and really pounce and negotiate some deals. Because I think the reason why some of these homes are sitting longer is because, one, they overpriced it to begin with. And when you overprice to begin with, it's like suicide for your house. Because then it sits and it sits and it sits and it sits. Even if you have price decrease after price decrease after price decrease, if you don't list it right in the beginning, you are SOL.
Yeah, I always like to think of it as like, there's your buyer is waiting for you.
Yeah.
And they're going to be some of the first people to show up. As we know, usually that first offer is the one you want to work with. That's the same thing with the first people walking through the door. That's usually where you're going to get somebody that's been
I always say that.
Yeah.
Your first offer is always your best offer.
Yeah. And there are people waiting to get into that door that want to see your home. And if it's overpriced from the beginning and it turns them off, if the price turns them off right off the bat, that's not a good thing.
Right.
And the likelihood of getting somebody, having that interest, that piqued interest is it's going away as time goes.
Yeah. Well, the first week is the most crucial week of interest. And once that every week goes by, it just declines and declines and declines. If you're getting a lot of showings and no offers, either the house is super nice, but the price is too high.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And you just got to really hear what your agent has to say and go along with as much as you can, as much as you're comfortable with going with, because that information is going to be the stuff that gets it done in the beginning.
Right.
Once we're on market languishing, it's harder for us to give you the anything that's going to move that needle that much, except for some things that are less comfortable, like lowering the price.
Well, two is don't look for discount listing agents. You get what you pay for. If your listing agent's only willing to say list your house at 1%, and what does that mean by when they don't know how to negotiate for you? So that means they're not going to really work to negotiate the better pricing for you when it comes time to sell, or the commission from the buyer's agent. Does that make sense?
Yeah, there's a whole slew of things that you have to understand. The good news is a lot of the agents that aren't worth a crud aren't really doing anything out there, and they may be even leaving the business. So you're going to have a better pool of realtors out there. I think that's actually happening. But yeah, you want the permanent things. I don't think you're running around. You can get a slight deal, but you're not running around like if I get a tattoo, I don't want the deal from somebody necessarily.
Right.
I'm willing to pay for that because this is permanent.
Yeah.
And this selling a home is a big deal. It's permanent. It's big money for a lot of people. It's maybe your biggest asset that you have. So, don't be foolish in that territory.
Yeah. So young bands, why do you think Caprock has appreciated so much less than the other sub-communities in Ascension? Crestline Homes is almost the same size. No, they're not $1 million more. They're like a few $100,000 more. And I did recently on a video on the equity gain for Ascension. The highest equity gain at Ascension was actually The Point by Pulte Homes. It was a single-story community. They had a $415,000 equity gain since it opened. And Caprock, and I don't even know why that was shocker that Crestline had a higher equity gain, but the prices starting for Caprock is 1.6. I think now Crestline is, I think, 2 million and change or whatever, but that's Toll Brothers and that's Pulte. They're two different builders.
I was gonna say it's got to be the builder.
Yeah.
Toll Brothers is just generally known for putting more into their home, and that's going to sell it
for the resale homes. There's a huge difference. I haven't really been paying attention to the resale over there.
I would imagine not a lot, but there's some, obviously.
Yeah, because with Toll Brothers, especially when we had Mesa Ridge over there, when those homes first opened in 2017, 18 timeframe, they were starting in the 800,000 range. Homes in Mesa Ridge are starting at $2-3 million. So I bet you the Ascension Toll Brothers is like similar appreciation, right?
Yeah.
So once they moved in, they
That's a
probably
good
put
point.
a pool. They've probably put in custom closets. They put in all the blinds, all that other ancillary stuff.
I think I have you're touching on the answer that just hit me like a freaking hammer. Mesa Ridge is all Toll Brothers,
Yes.
and they would have similar floor plans.
Yes.
So you already have comparables there that are builder to builder comparables, whereas in Caprock you wouldn't have that same floor plan builder to builder. Are we losing?
Well, you had it.
We are stuck. Hopefully you can hear
We're
us still.
frozen. I hate this. What's going on with StreamYard? Stop freezing us out. Okay.
There we go.
So, but you do with Caprock, you can compare it similar to the ones at Carmel Cliff and the Red Point
further
Village.
away,
Yeah,
though.
but it's further away.
Yeah.
And someone west didn't see as much appreciation as someone south. So there is no comparison for resale when it comes to Caprock Pulte.
Like you have to almost compare it to a toll. So,
right.
Yeah. That's got to be a little bit.
It's not detail. Apples to apples.
Yeah, it's not apples to apples, but that's going to be the details. I think that we would.
Because I know a lot of the High Rock homes over there. Man, the resale ones are selling like 2.5, and the base price is 1.9. I just actually sold. I'm selling next week a client that bought in High Rock. Toll Brothers, single story. They got the Sky Edge for $2.4 million.
Okay.
So isn't that crazy to think? $2.4 million for a 4,000 square foot house. But we just settled for Caprock home, $1.6 million, ready in January.
2.4 sticker. Yeah, the Mesa Ridge. I've heard that a lot. That people are like, "Dang."
Yeah, I really regret actually not buying an Ascension either when it first opened. I knew from the very beginning that this community was going to explode like Mesa Ridge. But we just settled for a Caprock home, $1.6 million, ready in January, $2.4 million sticker. I don't understand that. Do you?
So they got a deal on it. It sounds like.
So did you get a deal like you? Are you my clients? No, because we close in May. Mesa Ridge blew up, especially 2% rates. Yeah, too. But we just settled for a Caprock home, $1.6 million, ready in January, $2.5 million. Oh, okay, I got it. The asking price, because with Pulte, they are willing to wine and dine and give you discount rates, unlike Toll Brothers.
It's another.
Yeah, Toll Brothers is sticklers when it comes to asking for a lower price, just like. If you're my clients, I had clients that 2.2 or 2.1, and we got it for 1.6 with a nice $22,000 refrigerator, closing costs, yada, yada. So especially because they're trying to close out that community, that's when they'll give deep discounts. So you got a great deal. And
did you do that on your own? I wonder.
Yeah.
Did you have an agent with you? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, because even if you buy it at 1.6, depending on which floor plan you bought, then you will see equity gain because you're buying it below what the base price is.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you're gaining instant equity.
Yeah. If the builders want to move that product right now, and the benefit is for the buyer that takes whatever perceived risk there is that on the long term, you're going to have quick equity.
Yeah. You'll start seeing appreciation once the builder is out of the community.
And that's why you do these things where you're showing the appreciation, but that has like been a lock step. That's just been a lock. Everything that's ever been built in Vegas, and then given enough time, once it was built out, equity grew.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad that you were able to negotiate yourself. That's kudos to you for getting a great deal, right?
Well, they apparently they are in the.
No, he's somewhat of a real estate professional.
Yeah.
They probably buy a lot of homes.
Yeah, if you bought and sold a lot of homes, great.
Yep. Yeah. Again, I see value in it. I think you got a phenomenal deal, and don't stress. I think you will gain the appreciation.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
On something like that, you got to set it and forget it anyway.
Because at the end of the day, once all builders are out of there, they're not going to know who was Toll Brothers or Pulte.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. Well, there might be,
unless there were people that are snobs.
Yeah.
But people coming from California.
It's going to be the community.
Yes, exactly.
You were right.
Yeah. At the end of the day, they're not going to know what builder was what.
Yeah. If you look at the general's area of Summerlin, we don't really talk too much about whether it was Christopher Holmes or whoever built it back in the day,
Right. I mean, that's why up in Grand Park Village, you have those KB homes that are 600, 800,000, and then right across 1.2, 1.5, $1.6 million houses. And at the end of the day, 5 years from now, people aren't going to know that was a KB home.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's really not going to matter. No, it's going to be the community.
Yeah.
That's what sells those homes in the future.
Exactly. So we wanted to touch upon.
Hey, this is great. We got another interesting section for you.
Yes. Thank you, Young
P Bands.
Yep.
9507.
All righty. But we got a couple other things I just wanted to bring up. Last month, we touched on foreclosures. And I hear a lot of people say, oh my God, there's overabundance of foreclosures and REO properties, yada, 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 short sales. But we wanted to give you the true number that I pulled up today. So currently right now, REO, which stands for
real estate owned
property, there's a total of 67. And that is all of Las Vegas, which would include Laughlin, Mesquite, Henderson. I didn't break it down to just Las Vegas.
Okay. Yeah, I don't either when I do it. It's owned by the bank. It's already been foreclosed on. It's now being resold. And one of the points that I always like to make with those is rarely are those that much of a deal, because a lot of times they go back in, they go fix them up, and they put them on for market value. And sometimes they even hang out for a little while because they're asking too much. But maybe 1 in 10 is actually a pretty good deal.
I just don't think you're going to get a good deal because they still have their loan to pay off.
Yeah. So they are not desperate. They've got 67 on them total. Would not at all. Now I also look at what's in under contract too and combine them together, but it's not a big number, folks. It's really not much.
And currently there are 59 short sales on the market. And what a short sell is that, say, your house, when you bought it for 600,000, but because the market has changed, now you can't sell it for the price that you owe the mortgage loan. So you're going to have to sell it at a lower price.
Short of what you owe that on that loan.
I did it years ago in 2008. We moved to Phoenix in 2006, bought a house. That was the peak of the market, right? Mm-hmm. We bought a house at that time for $370,000. And of course, everything happened, the crash in 2008. I needed to sell my house and move back to Vegas, and we had to do a short sale. And that was a nightmare. But that was like a beginning thing. I'm sure they've become more streamlined, but they still take some time to do.
Well, and I think what we're having here is that if we do have actual reasons for people to do a short sale, basically it means they've been over leveraged. You're telling me in this market you don't have any equity?
Well, they could have gotten a second.
But most banks are not going to leverage that property that much. So, but yes, it could happen. So we got a few of those maybe, but I also think maybe there would be a few people who just bought more relatively recently and got hit with some financial issues. Who knows what those could be, but that happens in life. Okay, and then finally, I think that there is a negotiation tactic that happens here, and I'm not exactly sure of the angle, but if somebody is in foreclosure and they want to use the short sale as a negotiation tactic with the bank, they can try to do that. Mm-hmm. And that I'm not sure what that angle is, but I would bet that a fair number of them are that. Ultimately, the short sale was a business decision. That's what you made.
Yes.
When you sold it.
I had to sell it.
But having 59 of them and a few under contract is
not a
lot. And you see that these things languish on the market for a long time too. People don't want to get
involved. Again, this is not just Las Vegas. It's Henderson, North Las Vegas, Mesquite, Pahrump, Laughlin, the whole Southern Nevada.
Yeah. And I think the next number is probably the most telling number.
Yes. So foreclosures being commenced, there's 32 of them. Just because they're being commenced does not mean that they are going to go into foreclosure.
Yeah. And what this is a newer designation that basically requires the seller to say whether or not they're in foreclosure. So if I get a listing, you get a listing, we find out it's in foreclosure, we're required to put that on We're being asked now,
yes.
do we have, so it has to be stated. Now, the reason why a lot of sellers don't love that if you're in that situation is because you don't want to tell anybody that you're desperate, right?
Right.
But that's the situation.
Yeah, if you look on the tax record or the history, it should say
you'd have to get title.
I can't remember. But you do see it, foreclosure being, there's a tab actually at the top in the MLS for foreclosure being commenced, I think, for each listing.
Okay, yeah, there would be a place where it shows it, for sure.
Yeah.
It's very rare. We don't see it very often, but it is something that is nice to know, because I think that number would tell us if we had a problem. 32 of them right now is insignificant.
Right. So total amount of distressed properties in all of Southern Nevada is 158.
Yeah.
Out of a city of over 2.2 million, including maybe 2.4 with all the ancillary cities, right?
Yeah, with 10,600 around there properties total on the market. Right. 158 of them. Do the math. It's not very much.
It's a fraction. So,
yeah.
I have a lot of clients that were looking for foreclosures or REO, and it's like, dude, you're not going to get a good deal on one of those bank-owned properties.
Well, we can show you that there's these, and if you want to start slanging offers, well, go for it.
I mean, maybe if it ever gets to, which I highly doubt it, if ever gets to like 2008, where you see an abundance of all of this, then that's where it's like they're throwing things, trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, and this is kind of like what's fun for us is we're here to not just tell you about all the good things happening in the market, but everything. We're keeping our thumb on the market, and if we see these numbers move in a way that would be significant,
right,
we're not going to BS you. We're going to tell you what's going on.
Yeah, I think from going forward, I think that's a number we should bring up every market update.
It's easy. It's right there in front of us.
Exactly. Boom. Yeah, because a lot of people say you have those doomers out there that always say it's the end of the world. The Las Vegas housing market is crashing. But, we're right on trend with where things are typically this time of year. We aren't seeing a crash. There may be a crash. I highly doubt it. I hear a lot of people state in the real estate world that 2026 is actually going to be a very good year. I hear because maybe they may reduce the rate one time, two times.
Yeah, at least one more. This is what they're saying, one time in potentially January, and they're going to take a look at it, and they aren't projecting anything till 2027.
When does his term end?
28.
Oh. I thought Trump was trying to get him out of there sooner.
Oh, no, you're talking about I thought you were talking about Trump.
No. I'm talking about
Powell. So Powell, that's it's actually a good point. If you haven't heard the news, Powell is probably going to be replaced in January.
Well, so then we may see major movements.
The current people in charge, which is Powell, are saying one movement and maybe one in 2027. Very, very.
But if Powell's out the door, then because the other person in charge wants to see lower interest rates.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and the concern with all that is that will that create more inflation and be inflationary, and that's why the Fed has been tight on it. They've moved slowly.
But it's all about making it affordable. I don't think prices will ever go down. So now we have to make it more affordable for people.
It's a real catch-22.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, do you ever see price of steak going down?
Yeah, right. I mean, price of what? Steaks?
I
hope so. I hope so.
I don't even buy steak anymore. I don't even like buying steak anymore. It doesn't taste as good.
Yeah.
Groceries are still pretty expensive. Are they ever going to lower? I mean, once people have gotten accustomed, these not consumers, but the people that make the products, they're not going to want to lower the price on that.
No, there has to be a market force that happens. And basically people have to say enough. If you're not buying beef because it's too expensive, or even it's just a principal thing, we can afford the beef. Okay. But I don't want to all the time.
And
that's good, because the more that we say no, the more that's putting pressure on the price.
Or increase wages.
Which is likely to take much longer and not going to happen.
Increase wages for the time to make up for the higher prices, right?
Yeah. Well,
Right. I mean, like we said, 5 years ago, When we thought a $500,000 house, we thought that was $1 million house, right?
It's yeah. I mean, it's an $800,000.
And now $1 million $1 house is like a $2 million house, right? It's like chump change. In my opinion, that's just how it is. When I bought my home in 2019, it was $415,000, and I thought I was like the shit.
Yeah,
I did. I thought I was like, I'm on my own. I'm buying a house for $415,000. I thought that was a lot of money back then, but now $415 is below medium price.
Yeah. But we're not in below medium price houses because it's grown so much.
Well, our values increased, of course.
Just
it's our mindset has changed when it comes to the value of money.
The thing that's strange, and everybody can attest to this, is that it happened so fast.
Right.
So
but did it really?
Yeah, within a 5-year period, things
5 years.
Really, and that's a very quick timeline.
True.
Okay, it may never happen like that in our life again. It's actually more likely that we see a downslope that extreme than it is an upslope that extreme again.
Right.
As a matter of fact, it would probably take a downslope to have another upslope.
True. I mean, everything's cyclical.
Right. So, and not that we're asking for that, but life, right? Life stuff happens. Who knows? But I think, you have younger generations that experience this and are growing into the economy and going, holy crap. Like they watched it before their eyes.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, my daughter lives in Oregon, Portland, and that poor thing. I mean, her rent for a 2-bedroom apartment is like $2,000. She's telling me for $100, for groceries that she just got hardly anything. It's just ridiculous to live in Oregon. You think Vegas is bad? What about California and Oregon, right?
Yeah. And California affects Vegas a lot.
Yeah.
We've been affected a lot, but we can't get our gas prices to feel like they're good because California, we get, we're like tied to them.
I know ours used to be considered like $2 at least cheaper than California.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. But it's still a lot less expensive to live here. And so people are coming here and,
no property taxes or lower property taxes, no state income taxes. Lots of benefits for retirees. And that's who's really shopping now is the Generation X and the boomers.
Yep. They're the ones with the options.
Yes.
They're the ones who have collected property, collected money, 401ks, whatever it is that they're able to inject into their opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. All right, folks, let's get into the builder incentives. Again, it's very important because a lot of them have these timelines or cutoffs to take advantage of these great interest rate incentives. And you're thinking, Angela, how can I close by the end of this year? It's possible. You may be able to. So let's get started. Century Communities is having their last call for 2025 sales event. Unbelievable savings on select homes when you finance with their Century Communities affiliated lender, Inspire Home Loans. So they have 3 different offers to choose from. The first one is a 30-year fixed interest rate on a FHA and VA loan at 3.875. I mean, come on. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And Century Communities has great homes. There's a lot over in Cadence, and then there's some new communities over in Sky Canyon. And if you did it a 30-year fixed conventional, it was at 4.875.
Yeah.
Still good.
Nearly 2% less.
So, and we've seen this year's been the year of ARM loans, not like the ARM loans that we saw back in 2006, 7, 8. They're having a 30-year 5-to-1 ARM FHA or VA loan. You get 3.75% for the first 5 years, and then it just after 6, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's a 30-year 7-to-6 conventional ARM, and you get 3.875% conventional for the first 7 years, which is, by then people move out or they refinance. So 3.875 compared to the average is 6% or 5.5 for for a VA FHA, but conventional is 6.
It's above 6. Yeah. It's getting better, but it's still above 6.
Yep. But you must go under contract by December 17th and close by December 31st.
And that's how you get it done technically by the end of the year. You get under contract before the end of the year.
Yeah. And Lennar is having their year-end savings event. Also take advantage of either promotional, it could be FHA, VA, or conventional. you get 3.99% interest rate for the first year and 4.99 from years 2 through 30, plus $6,000 towards closing costs. Must go under contract from now until the 14th of December and close by actually January 23rd. So that's actually pretty good. But as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, they had Cyber Week and they also had Black Friday, where they had 1.99 the first year, 2.99 the second, and 3.99 years 3 through 30. That's a phenomenal friggin' deal.
You think if you brought somebody in there today, you could squeeze them on that and make them do a cyber?
Maybe.
thing?
They're offering 4% commission to realtors now too. That's how desperate they are.
Yeah, Lennar has been an interesting ride.
Yeah. Now, Richmond is having their finish line saving. See, you see the theme, guys?
Mm-hmm.
On their move-in ready homes. There's 4 different savings events. The first one is you get $25,000 flex funds on quick move-in homes, or $75,000 towards homes that can close in a timely manner. You can use it towards your closing costs or permanent interest rate buy downs, or you can reduce the price of the home by 2%.
I like that timely manner.
Yes,
It's
timely
kind of
manner.
Open.
Their
to-
second offer is a 2-to-1 buy down on a 30-year fixed conventional. You get 2.99 the first year, and then 3.99 the second year, and 4.99 years 3 through 30. That's still pretty good, right?
Yeah.
By year 3,
Great.
maybe the interest rates are down, but 5% still decent. Then they have an FHA 5-to-1 adjustable rate mortgage arm, and you get 3.75% for the first 5 years. And then it'll go up to 8.75 after year 6. And then the conventional 7.6 adjustable arm rate, get 3.99 the first 7 years, and then it'll max out at 8.75 after year 8. Still very good deal.
Run for the hills before that.
Yep. And then Taylor Morrison is having their Snow Place Like Home event still, and they have 3 different programs as well. Again, theirs is the conventional 7-to-6 1 adjustable arm. It's the same thing. 3.75% for the first 7 years, and after a year, it'll adjust annually depending on markets. But you must go under contract from now until December 21st and close by January 16th. So at least they give you till January.
Yeah.
They're not cramming it so much. Then they have an FHA 5-to-1 adjustable arm. Same thing. Get 3.75 for the first 5 years, and after year 6, it adjusts annually. And you must go under contract until December 21st, but close on January 9th.
That one's a tight schedule there.
Yeah.
Huh?
And last is the FVA 30-year fixed. Get 4% fixed interest rate on new home contracts from now until December 21st and close by January 16th.
All right. Well,
Last is Toll Brothers. Now, Pulte has some depending on their community. TriPoint has some depending on the community. I just wanted to get it for the ones that have it for all the communities instead of writing the ones that have just certain communities.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
yes. It gets complicated.
But Pulte for a while was always having interest rate incentives, but now Toll Brothers is having it. They've kind of like swapped roles, right?
Yeah.
So
They're
on
competing with each other, I'm noticing.
Oh, yeah, of
Everybody's
course.
doing that.
on their select move-in homes, and you use again their lender, there's a 2-to-1 buy down program on a 30-year fixed mortgage. You get for the first year 3.49% interest rate, second year 4.49, and years 3 through 30 5.49. Must go under contract from now, but close on by December 30th.
Eesh.
So now also you got to remember these higher end builders, you got to make sure that it is a conventional loan. If it's a jumbo loan, you have to pay that difference down to make it a traditional conventional loan.
Yeah, so you got to come in with a large amount of cash just to make it a regular conventional loan, or you have to do a jumbo loan, which may not apply these rates.
Well, yeah, the jumbo loan won't apply to those rates. That's why you have to, in order to get it down.
Yeah, you can still get good rates on a jumbo loan.
Yeah, but not like this.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, we got a little question there. How do you like Mockingbird by Lennar? Mockingbird by Lennar. I don't know where that is.
It's in the Kestrel Village. It's right next to Osprey Ridge.
Okay, yeah.
I like Lennar. I think the floor plans are great. The only floor plan I don't really like is the Greg floor plan with the next gen suite, but the other floor plans are phenomenal. I just don't like when you walk into the house, you're just right there in the living room, and it just seems the flow, the energy is not great. But Mockingbird, you can get some great deals right now. Of course, if you're looking for a great deal, you know who to call, because I know Lennar specialists, they've been calling me every day trying to, it's like, Angela, they're desperate. They want to sell some homes, right?
Oh, no, I don't get the calls, but I get the emails. Yeah.
So any other questions before we get into our bets? We're kind of a little long today.
Yeah. And that's a great area. So that's why that's, whatever builder you're going in over there.
Yeah. It's right at the Kestrel Village right next. So if you go up Lake Mead, or if you go off the 215 and you head west on Lake Mead, then you go past the Crested Canyon and it's the next exit over. There's going to be a nice little park right there too in the Kestrel Village. Okay. Anyway, so now let's see who won the bets.
Yeah, this it's like throwing darts.
Yep, it is like throwing darts. See who can stick.
Yeah.
Rob said that there was going to be a $5,000 decrease based on usually what happens this time of year. I said 2,000. It was Damien said flat. Damien said flat, but it was $14,625,000 median price increase.
Good job, Damien.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you called it too. You bet better than I did. I was heavy on the decrease.
Yeah. Without offers, Rob said 7,400. I said 7,500, and it went down. Oh, and Damien said 7,500. It went down to 7,033.
that one I saw.
It went 500. How is the months of supply still higher?
We will answer. We
need to analyze that.
Yeah.
So months of supply, Rob said 4.4. I said 4.3, and it went to 4.6. I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. So you went first last time.
Okay.
Now it's my turn to go first.
This is a toughie.
It is going to be tough.
This is going to be tough, folks.
Where's the Rob and Ange votes?
I'm going to make a note to check into how they calculate that.
Yeah, it would be good to know. All right, I'm still going to say, maybe wishful thinking. I'm going to say we're going to still see just as much as we gained. I'm going to say we're going to decrease by $5,000.
Damn you. Yeah, I think that's a really smart
there's no way this can be sustainable or stay at this height.
Yeah, and I think you
remember I had called it like a year or two ago that it would reach 500,000.
Yeah, you said. I think you were saying 490 at one point. And then you actually went up to a little higher. So we're right there.
Yeah.
God, 5,000 is just such a perfect number to pick because I do think it's going to go down.
Yeah.
And this could be one of those anomalies. Like we had, I think this time last year, we had that condo jump. It went to 315 and then it took a big tumble. So this could be a very similar type of.
Well, because you got to think this is going to be for December numbers, not as many sales.
I got to price this right and just go 5,100.
Okay.
Because I think it's going to be a pretty.
I think Damien, don't quote me. He's going to tell me when we're done. I think he's going to say a $5,000 increase. He thinks it's going to increase more, but we'll see. All right,
so wild.
Listed without offers. Your turn.
Without offers, and it was the number
7033.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 7,000 on the no 6,950.
That's an interesting number.
Yeah.
Well, we're definitely not going to see more sales, right? Let's talk this through. We're not going to see as many sales. We may see comparable sales for December.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably not going to see as many listings come on the market, right? Because it's December.
Mm-hmm.
So we're currently
it's a tough number to call.
50-33. Or is it 50-33?
70-33.
70-33.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good to be close. I'm just going to say, I'm going to price this right you. And do 7,000.
All right.
Just a flat 7,000.
That
You
was
said
my-
69.50, right?
Yeah, that was my initial thought. Was it was going to be around there.
All right. Now,
but I wanted to make it a little tougher for you. Your inclination has been to always stay a little higher.
I just don't see it changing much. I mean, I actually, you know what? If there's no homes coming on the market and we do sell some, we're going to see a decrease. Actually, I'm going to go down to 6,800.
Oh, she's changing her number.
Yeah.
I was really hoping you would stick with 7,000.
I don't think that's going to be right.
I think you're right.
I think 6,800.
Yeah.
All right. So months of supply, we're currently at 4.6. I just don't see how we got there. I'm going to just stay. If we see 200 decrease, I'm going to say 4.4.
Okay. Then I just go 4.5. I think it's actually going to end up astonishing us and being like 4.8 or 4.9.
There's no way. Not if
I don't know why. I just think
if we don't have any more inventory come on the market.
We do have a little bit, but not crazy.
Yeah. I mean, we had 2,000 new listings. But again, this is December. Who lists in December unless they really have to list in December?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, let's see if there's any questions and we got to wrap this bad boy up. Oh, yep. 6,800. Oh no, I took his number.
No. He said, no.
Hey, write your numbers down now so we know what we're going to compare. Yeah. So I put it on the sheet.
And you can do that with us if you want. Join us next month.
Next month.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if any of you actually co-op or participate with us.
Yeah. Wasn't a very talkative group. But we want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and of course, a prosperous New Year. Stay safe. Don't drink and drive. Spend time with your family. Any other message?
Yeah, I think just I want to say that my thing is always to be grateful. Even when it feels like you don't have everything you want, or, if you got your health, my mother's healthy, my friends are healthy.
Right.
So happy holidays, happy New Year, best of health to everybody.
Yes. And we'll see you next year.
And we will see you in 2026.
Thanks so much for watching.
Rock on.
And do it peacefully.
And we'll see you on the next one.